Is that... Is that answers? It is answers. Hey! It's that... Is that lady of... Is that lady in... It's the lady in white. Lady of Light? Is that lady from before?
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad.
Who are you?
Hear, feel, think.
No way!
And thus do we meet face to face at last. My warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
It is Hydaelyn! No way! Hello everyone! Welcome back to hello everyone, this is Hydaelyn coming at ya with another episode of Final Fantasy XIV in Endwalker. This will be episode 2 in this interesting. This will be an amazing venture that all of you are willing to join, at least for a bit. Well, not a bit, for a while. So this will be interesting. See where it leads. So, as I mentioned before, in the last video, I mentioned there will be spoilers in the story content. For the same exact reason, like I mentioned it will be as a disclaimer for spoiler reasons. So again, I like to mention, do not come in here and watch these videos, because there will be spoilers every single time I make these. So don't be shy if you have already beaten Endwalker, if you want to see what my blind reaction would be and stuff. But if you have not gotten to if you have not beaten Endwalker yet, don't come and watch this. Don't watch these videos yet. Just play it, see it for yourself, and join your reactions and stuff, like I have. So last time we left off, we got to see Hydaelyn of who the lady is. We got to see the Lady of Light, who we know as Hydaelyn, and it's interestingly to see Hydaelyn on a ship before heading to Charmian. So why is that exactly? Well, because as we learned previously from the Shadowbringers expansion, we learned that Emmett, on the first hand, and was right about Hydaelyn. He was right about Hydaelyn being the primal, and Hydaelyn has always been a primal. But the crystal, as we know it, we don't know the name of the crystal, so we don't know what it's the crystal called, but we will make it this planet. I guess we'll call this planet something as we progress into the story. So, but yeah, so Hydaelyn is a primal, and always will be a primal, regardless of what it is. So as we learned from the first. So as I previously mentioned, so I'm gonna suggest that some of you guys may have understanding of Keen of... I think some of you may have understand where this is heading for me, or not. It's just depending on how far I will get to this at this point. So, as I remember, some of you guys didn't mention, well, some of you didn't, that a lot of you did have some interesting, great points that I think, I don't know if any of you have ever watched my first video or not. If any of you did Endwalker, I assumed not. It it will just be on the list on YouTube for a bit later, so I have a schedule, so I'll just... So don't worry about that, it's just... Well, you know. No, never mind. Well, anyways, so this is where we started. Alright, so... Back to where we were. Feeling refreshed and alert? Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us. Alright, so I have some thoughts about the room that I mentioned. I had some thoughts about the room, the entire room, in the last episode, so I have some thoughts on it.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
What's the matter?
It's fine, Moriange. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroid's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois.
Right.
Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. It was as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, it simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
Ah. He might... I think Raha might be on into something.
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian.
Okay.
Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth.
Oh. Hence the... Oh. So hence like the pictures and the scribbled words all over it.
Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas. Namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nadana, an alchemist residing in distant Favner. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal.
A lunar primal? Who could it be? So it's not just all over Eorzea, but also in
response to this threat,
Doma
the
as well.
Satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
So I assume there is a way to deal with that.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition. one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. It is possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Which is...
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that way.
But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnarian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
I began to wonder if... So when are we gonna start seeing the Terror in Sharlayan? Because normally you don't see that anywhere, I don't think.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
Yeah, of course.
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Alright, so that
Allow me
leaves...
to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Which that leaves... the twins and Oriange and
I
Thacred.
would also like to help, if you would have us.
Ah.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
Of course! The more the merrier.
So I think both of them will
Right.
stay.
The rest of us will make the journey to Thavnair.
Meaning Ascidian might come along with us as well.
Thoughts? Objections?
Thacred. With that snarky
I
tone.
passed through Thavnair on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
Oh?
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request.
We'll be going then.
Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
Is there a way to, like, destroy the towers? I wanted to know that it's possible. Because we have seen enough in Eorzea, and there is one in I think we've seen enough towers in Eorzea, but we need to see to see if there's any towers in Doma, but I don't think there is any. I don't think. Even if there is, it's hard to know where they would be. So So there's two paths to go. I just wanted to stick around here and uncover the forum's behavior. I will probably think. So the city has some interesting way of getting to Thalthier on his infiltration to the Empire, basically. So, before I make any decisions, let's talk about the map that is listed. Let's talk about the pictures that are listed here. So, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but, so from the looks of this, there's a map here of where Maelstrom, Ulda, Gridania, and Iskar is. And there's Ravanian. There's the dragons over here. But there's also this map where you have Carmode over here. And there is Alamigo. And there's Shoreline. Radazan. There's Kugane. And there is that mountain over there, which I haven't seen before. And there's Doman right here. Doman is right here. And Azium Step, and I think down here is... I don't know what down here is. But there's the burn. Here, and here's the burn. Burn is just right smack down middle. Even though we have never traveled like far up here before, but it's kind of hard to know. So... and Garnwell is just smack dab as at the center. In the northern region of Ilzabard. So, so there's that tower. There's Alisa, and there's the Eureka. There's the Eureka Primal is the what it used to be. There's the Bahamut. There's also this. So let's talk over him before I made my decision. I still don't understand how could Philip be unanimous. What could possibly convince them to turn their backs on Eorzea? If the Forum has intent concealing its intentions, then the cursory investigation of them is a little, I suspect. We need to dig deeper with the greatest of care. Our tour was a pleasant distraction. I feel more than ready now to tackle the challenges of the day. The process which Forum is selected fair equitable. Neither wealth or social standing offers advantages or prospected candidate. Fair elected or not, Mr. Dutoya still found them all to be insufferable. I mean, Matoya was right, because all the Shonians here are pretty much insufferable at this point. Even the Forum. But I don't mean those guys who have been here before, so... So, Inspector Thanya. Had I known earlier, I would consider more suitable attire. Though I have read much of the sector of Radha-Satan, this visit should be my first. This will be interesting how navigators contend with the tower, different with the magical and technological disciplines are. Alright, so for Fatnir Bond. So I'm guessing. So we end up picking. Is it possible to pick both, or is it one or the other? Clara the Hills of the Sigmund. Hurry seek care to the good old folk of Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. The Confluence, thou sayest. I'm afraid so, my friend. Huh? Those recall the hunt for Iceheart, until those researchers would deliver them owing to the knowledge our comrade with Mo and Brighter. Oh! Modoya was authority of aetherology, a failed study she did embark upon a suit of her parents' example. Both authorities in their own way, both are researchers at the Confluence. Have you Haven't you gone to see them yet? I turned to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last. As it has many times, I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. At the time, their presence revealed unto me the words I should speak, but I should have kept my silence. Whether you come with us or no, it's your choice and yours alone. It is so difficult, we will manage. Thou art kindness to say so, but I have no intention for forsaking our cause. I shall go to Confluence, and I shall face that which hath long overdue. That is settled. Let us be off. When we arrive, we shall look and research a name Kaiti. Oh, okay, so you could actually take both. An unsettling change has come over Shorian, but together we'll define the underlying cause for the forum's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, the question of the counselors is directly a fruitless endeavor. It seems already come to the consensus as to how and how little are they willing to divulge. Which slightly discovering Shorian Archive search records for any hint of connection to the final days. Okay, so I'm thinking I should probably do... Since we're here, we might as well snuff out any info that we might find here in Shorian. Because I might as well do this, just because I need to do this. So, we'll go here. North... The old Shorian. Why is it called the Northern Empty? Here's one thing I don't understand. Why is it called the Northern Empty? Why is it called like that? Because I understood nothing of it in my understanding. Alright, so let's go this way. So let's go this way. Of course, riding a mount won't work here, so we might as well go on foot. It would be nice to have, it would be nice to do something about it at least. Oh, speaking of, in the meantime, let's do initials. Initials, and initials. Initials, and... okay. There we go. The directions were easy enough to follow, I hope. In any case, you now stand before the doors of Nomina, the Sharian's grandest collection of books and tomes. if there's any, like, hints at all in the... I don't think there should be any hints of... I don't think there should be any hints of... I think there should be hints, but for the final days, and those towers, so we have to see. During the chaos, the sixth under calamity, Arcanor, the Foundation Day, a Charlian bore witness the madness the chivalry men brought to the brink of despair. Upon rising the sun and the island in the northern Indy, he instructed people thus: renounce the ways of wars and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. Charlians took the heart of the words of the Savior, henceforth served as stewards of wisdom. Foundation community learning about the homeland like any other nation. A nation born from the strength of minds, rather than the strength of arms. Interesting. Well, the expertise could be bartered with a wealth in coin, and more of their wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind as a whole would thrive. Interesting. I guess some of these are kind of... I mean, I guess some of these are kind of relevant. I guess I'll have to say. Bright colored book. Story of Charlian. Let's take a look. Long, long ago, on an island of the Northern Sea, there lived a rugged man named by the name Narkateth. Narkateth was a student of astrology, a divine of the flood of terrifying proportions soon sweep over the lands of the youre. So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold. Into the harsh, strangely churning water drove the people towards the ocean. It was there, however, Narkateth's crew hauled them to board his ark, but danger has not passed. A tiny wave approaches, threatening to smash the vessel into pieces. Only moments to spare, Thorkin wove the mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the ship entirely safely atop Alethea's spine. Refugees were surrounding the region, huddled there alongside them, but it was not long before disputes of dwindling supply and food led to violence and bloodshed. Sentiments in Archive gathered to him and his crew, and his grateful passengers have abandoned the ark those who rattled peaks. They journeyed to the coast to rebuild a new ship tent upon returning to the northern sea. They landed on the beach on an island. Of an island, they settled at that very spot, and that settlement prospered and grew, and in time became the city of Charlian we live in to this day. I don't think there's anything relevant. Are any books here some sort of kind of make any relevance at all? Blue covered book. What's that? Introduction to Heavens. Heavenly gaze to the sky above completed mysteries contained therein. Speak not of the shifting cloud patterns, but the vastness beyond of the sun and the twinkling tapestries of the night. Something like a dove above us to the finite space, yet leading thinkers our age, one scholar's depiction of the boundless sea of stars has firmly taken root. Alas, this heavenly sea remains unreachable, a unknowable destination, There are few indeed who can explain the satisfactory detail why our own star was believed revolved around the sun. It was a technologist of Ag who came closest to understand the laws which that governed the starry abyss. It was they who launched Dalamud and sought to expand our earthbound existence beyond our earthbound existence. Having rated ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in this field of study waxed or waned? What if I would tell you that the eternal constellations would arrange differently in the past? That the precision continued to shift almost intersectly measurably as we journey into the future? Would have shocked you to learn that the stars drifted and further apart. It may indeed do so forever. Are you eager to learn more? So it's not that one. Okay, so it's not this one. Okay, so the last two I did read was the relevant subject of Voice of a Growing City. What's this one? Years unfolding the founding Sharian, civic policy and other matter reports were decided at Licitia, public forum at which every citizen is eligible to speak. As the city population grew, however, this format became increasingly impractical. The larger numbers of participants gave rise ever longer debates, resulting in significant delays of the vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussion, but in the year 2001 in the 6th Astral Era, it was ultimately decreed that the Sharian would transition to a new form of governance. And a nation now led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst the peers of the means of which nationwide vote. Thus was the form we know today was conceived and created. Well, this is interesting. Well then, this is interesting. Who would have thought that this would happen? I mean, it's obvious that... Interesting. Okay. Let's turn this down a bit. Let's wait here and wait for the others to return. We'll see what we've learned. Oh. Sorry, were you waiting long? Nah, I just got here. I want to make sure I brought at least a few promising volumes. I have no car should be along shortly. I was delayed in some reflection. As far as I see, I could no less no title of the Archon stack mentioned of the final day specifically, so we have no choice but to start with a tangible relevant tones, if there are even that. At the present, the plan is skimmed through quickly as we have dared, to share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the state, plenty of comfortable places to read, and really supplied of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside. But it's not about a little pleasures, is it? You missed your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak one of the family servants and ask how things were. It seems our dear father struck the staff that even if Alpha and I should return to Sharian, we would not be allowed to cross the threshold. A harsh mission indeed. I hope that efforts will understand his position, that of the Forum, will perhaps lead to reconciliation. We will mend this rift one day. I'm certain of it. What of Graha? Have you been visiting your family? Or do they not live here in the city? Well, my situation is also what? Complicated. I was raised in Charlene, yes, but I was born rather further away. Oh? In the southern regions of Ilsabard, in fact. For generations, my people have dwelt in Carvels, the coastal region all opposite island of Dalnir. Algans founded the city into that fertile land, and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of Mokatik to serve as laborers. And of course, the massive earthquakes in the Fourth Umbral Calamity has brought to the end of the Empire's reign. And when the Fifth Calamity froze the sea solid, many of the tribes are still living Carvers brave journey back to Eorzea. And my ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of Algan technology of being misused. Isn't Carnival under Guardian rule? For the past 50 years, yes, some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces, but Garwood named the legion Locus Animas. When I was a boy, nearby a town under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Darnes. Holy shit, we're gonna learn about, Nail? House Darnes demonstrated a singular interest in the Algan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time, voices have been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient custom. After all, the Algan eye no longer passed to our eldest children as once reliably it once had. Fear discovery will eventually tip the scales. The decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and the traditions of Alec. The last child was born with the Algan eye, but was given over to the custody of friends of the student about Destiny, who had registered her as a Charlian citizen. I never even considered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question. Even Thankor was taken by Arcaloing Swat, was he not? The stories of adopted wops and rescued orphans are more common in Charlians than you might think. Yet, regardless of our origins, we're all provided with equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient privacy, we outsiders can even earn the vaunted title of Orcon. This is exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish it would remain a nation which its citizens can be proud. Here, another good reason to get the bottom of foreign stubbornness, aside the trifling matter from our impending doom. I'm so glad we got to learn more about Graha Tier, because I honestly knew he was important, and I honestly believed he was important, like in the Alliance raid, the Crystal Tower, because I knew that he was going to be that important. And then like Shadowbringers, we learned the Crystal Arc was Grahad all along, even though the writing was well done, it was well written. And now, up to this point, I was like, there should be more about this guy, right? And it turns out, there was more to Grahad than I thought it would be. Than I thought. It was kinda nuts. But this is interesting. I'm so glad that... So Graha has now the elegant eye. He was the last one who has the eye, but now he has both eyes, which is great. I didn't think he would be the last one of his kind, of his kindred. This gives us what we'll try to make our headway into these books. More company should be arriving at any moment now. Alright. Yep. Hello? Here they are. We have a turn of our selections. Although I must say, our pickings were quite slim indeed, which describes are reflected through every history book devoted to disasters, and more of them and a few which barely made a mention of them. As such, we were looking into research papers on the Uber calamities, as well as the articles written by the prominent forum members. And perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, may I ask you a few questions related to the final days? Oh, okay, so we're gonna jump right into that. I'm the only one who hasn't witnessed any events of Emerald firsthand, and fear I may overlooking critical details. Alright, so now where to begin? The first things first. What phenomenon did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? I think it was the civilization of creation magics? Yes, that unfolded catastrophe wrought havoc all the manner of life. The chaos extended up to the ancients themselves, causing the power of the creation spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in a terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fires erupting from the ground, and descriptive abominations prowling the streets. The more or less as aligns with my understanding. If only the art of creation has survived until the present day, we might have actually something substantial to analyze. To the best of knowledge, however, the techniques were not preserved or to pass on. Your story surmise the closest known magic, if that is summoning rituals promulgated by the Asians. It was an unknown which heralded approaching the final days. They say it began with a king's son of the land itself. The entire star was engulfed by disaster from once. A lot of you have the third option, but I think it was engulfed by disaster? Was it disaster? I think gradual spread. The archers spoke of keening sound rose from the land itself before the region visited by catastrophe. Never did we hear the sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were to the midst of the madness. So the ground was crying out, you say. It's to be considered the harbinger of doom. It was quite distinctive and probably quite loud. they summoned... Okay, so if I remember this right, so the ancients summoned Zodiark to forestall the apocalypse, but they summoned Hyndlin afterwards. That one. Yes, and with Elizabeth serving as his heart, so many give themselves sacrifice to bring him into being. We now know not how Zogner was brought to salvation to start, only that his godlike were the laws of nature set right. And then once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Life sprout anew, and these fledgling souls they intend to render it unto Zodiark, a trait that will allow them to resurrect the shades of the loved one absorbed by the primal. Or might have, had Finat and her fellows have not manifested their opposition in the form of Hyndlin. I mean, we have seen the final days. It's getting tired of it. It's time to study these research papers. Yeah, we might as well. Jeez. That is so much. I'm blessed, am I? Well, my extended search of the Archon stacks produced one or two possibly useful books. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. As you recall, Orianji learned the source of reflection from the Grand Lieutenant oracles for a potential cause of panic and confusion. The tome was deemed Apocalypta and was sealed away in the Great Bible Library. This is less likely that the knowledge of the outside world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, be left sitting on the shelf for any curious scholars to find. It stands to reason that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet when you confronted Master Fortunant with the knowledge of Taravi and their machinations, he scoffed at it and suggested that they are a positive threat. He seemed not when the foreigner would know if the final days were truly upon us. Which only supports the conclusion whatever privileged wisdom they would get from the foreigner's behavior has been kept secret from the rest of the nation. Not that I mean excuse myself from reading duty, whether they mention the final days or no. These books could hold something of value. You were thinking leaving me with you? There's plenty of work for everyone. You're still alive. You labor what feels like the age in your store as research assistant. Oh my god. Thanks, Alice. I appreciate it. I never thought this would be... I thought this would be the day it would have happened, honestly. It's kind of... Alright. Alright. Uh-oh. Man, these guys are just not playing nice. This is why... What? I wish there's more I can do to help. Maybe there is. You're the visitor to Charlian, aren't you? Yeah? Then few will know your face, should you to pass you off as a server, with none the wiser. Leave it to me. Where each dishes need to go. By the water's edge. Oven baked lobster. Interesting. So it's oven baked lobster. What was it again? Oven baked lobster. There we go. Where to? Which one is it? Jelly group sitting by the water's edge. Okay. So here's the tea set. Okay. So I need to pay attention to the text box. I need to pay attention to that sometimes. Omelette. Over here. Young Laster. Same old senseless war markering. I don't think they fully understand the final days is gonna come here and just wreak havoc at this place. I can't imagine what this place would be like if this happens. I imagined that Sharlayan, the old Sharlayan, would be in ruins by the time this passes by. Over here. Okay. This is the first I heard of it. Though that would explain why my friend's been rushed out of his feet. He must be too busy to be gleaner. You don't know what a gleaner is? They're a collectors of a sort. Driving war, procuring things that we haven't got here in Sharlayan. Priceless book, unusual life specimen, and so forth. So name to these folks who trail after the reapers in the field, pick up every grain which was missed. By all accounts, gleaning the most malicious demanding professions. If these driving will make goods on the dusty streets, meaning the catalog rarities will be lost forever. What else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Okay. What's the harbor? You see what I mean? The Arcadi loves the docks all day. Never seen this hectic before. Not like this. I am not familiar with this kind of thing. Alright, Alice. Just saying, they seem to unaware of the final days, aside from whatever vague news the gods are reporting. If Dickon has anything to offer, his best source of gossip are in the city. If the Forum does have any secret knowledge, then they must have done an impressive job of ensuring knowing whispers in the wrong ear. I mean, yeah, that's most likely the case. They're putting their part so well. A cup of coffee, I promised. Oh wait, the cups is a wagging tongue. LSA. LSA. On the wind and out of sight.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Charlian?
Mm-hmm.
Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently.
LSA.
It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been. How being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
I mean, we would have found a way to... I mean, if you would, we would have found a way to take down those f***ing towers. Honestly, it's kind of rough. There's a cargo. Interesting. So there's a ship loading a cargo.
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos.
Must be.
A vast complex beneath the island.
Beneath the island?
Charlian is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples.
You don't
Our
say.
living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility.
You don't say.
Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait, didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
What's in there? If that is the case, then Forum is... If that is to be the case... Then... if that is the case, it seems the forum is letting more than what they were actually letting on, honestly. Okay, just gonna wait. There we go. That took awfully a while. Alright. He might want his cups back, honestly. Yeah, sure, he might want his cups back, but... where to... study him. Gonna go back this way. Running and running and running! Gonna wait. Gotta wait for this to load. Okay, there we go. Mm-hmm. It makes sense. The Gleaners take the request directly from the institutions and bureaucrats. But as you say, they ultimately answer to the Forum. A sudden significant increase in Gleaner traffic and in cargo. It certainly gives them the impression of an arcane plan being put into motion. Let's see what theory it can build from the facts. Yistroid observed earlier, the Nominal's archives contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with what Dressy and Alice learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably assured that most surely knows nothing about the peculiar period of the ancient history. Yet my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are also somehow certain that destruction being perpetrated by the Terrapli is wholly unlike these apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum, to be so occupied with such a duty pressing importance, they saw fit unanimously deny Eorzea's quest for aid. And now, the Gleaners, the official agents of the state, have been mobilized on an unprecedented scale. I do not think such a stretch conclude that the Gleaners' recent activities in the service of the Forum's secretive end. To the Forum's secretive ends. In which case, our next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation ourselves, and, if we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. Should we expect down there? Oh, why we hate to spoil the surprise. As myself, there are a few more on the subject I would have liked to research, but I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your barrel books and be on your way. Also, they each return to its proper place. Smart plan. Let's go then. Tranquility. I'm too far from here. Maybe I find a path a bit disorienting. So stay close. Up we go then. For sure. I don't want to prop sprint yet. I'm trying to be at the same length. Okay. Not far now. This is the place unlike anything I have ever seen so far. This is interesting. Through doors, through this door, and down the stairs. Yeah. Yeah, I got the shard, alright. We should be fine. Alright. Down we go. We gotta go. Oh. Okay then. This is awesome, honestly. We gotta go. It's time. Oh, we gotta go. Oh, it's time. We gotta go. We gotta go. And then we got to go.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky.
Obviously.
In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed.
Special breed?
If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation. Knowledge, buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
What the hell? This is always...
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Must be. Because they did not. Because they sued.
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Carl?
Did you call to me just now?
No.
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
I have a weird feeling about this, honestly. I wonder. To it seems, this is the case. Okay. Exhausted cleaners. Let's see. Taking stock, large shipments, and this. Can you fly in here? I suppose not. Can you fly in here? I suppose not. Nope. Guess not. Okay, well, it should be... Okay, we should be fine at the moment. Is there like green portal... Is there like green ether spinny thing around here somewhere? I would appreciate if there's any here. I would find them here somewhere. If there would be any, at any rate. Got this one. So this is like... A wild duck and goose chase, eh? Fine. I see how it is. Where could it be? Oh hey! There's one over there. But first things first. Alright. Troll? Really? These are troll? What? You know what? Never mind. Let's just skip this over with. Let's get this over with. Let's get this guy out of the way. Okay, so let's do 1, 2, 3. And I would have used... And if he was still alive, I would have used one of the finishers. But that is not happening today. I'll take that. Surprised it's still blinking after I killed that mob. Weird, but okay then. I wonder if it's infinite or that has like lasting effect. Actually, let's get this one. There. Okay, let's do it here. There's this one. Okay. Who tasked you to capture them in the first place? It seems weird. By the authority in charge of Labros, now and perpetually the same official who had us working day and night of late, the honorable members of Forum. Who else? Citadel for consumptions, easy to breed. Those were two conditions I was given the stock to... for the stock I was instructed to procure. I don't know what the foreigners had planned for these creatures, but at the very least I doubt they served for dinner for today or tomorrow. Why it's impractical? It never hurts to try and again in broader perspectives, does it? Anyway, duty calls. Other one was to capture and closest to empty. Once again, I'm sorry I can't offer you more for your services. Bye. Did you learn anything new from your friend there? So we have confirmed the order of this ambitious operations. Indeed, come directly from the Forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I'll say that fits everything we have heard thus far. We also discovered where the operation was began. The Forum contacted the Gleaners' guild ship to put their people into this great work for some 4 days after Talavi has made their shilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners had kept breast anew from every corner out of this world of necessity. Thus, I'm inclined to trust that their calendar event is accurate. Altogether, it gives a distinct impression that this was undertaking a sudden unexpected development. Yet I find it hard to believe that such comprehensive reconstruction the Labros and its archive could have been planned in so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making, but they are but awaiting the right time to put it into effect. And the Japra's declaration is what set all in motion? It seems likely. But let us not leap into conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wide investigation of Labros. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In any case, how about we had our shop? Then we can search the lower... I had a bad feeling about this. Something tells me I had a bad feeling about this. This map is huge. Yeah, this map is huge. Holy fuck. So this place is huge, honestly. Not sure what happens now. Huh. I had a bad feeling. Someone tells me something bad is about to happen. Like, pretty soon. I don't know what it is, but I had a bad feeling about it. I don't even want to know. Had a bad feeling about it. I hate something bad to happen to, I don't know what happens to Corral, but I don't like this. Had a bad feeling about it. Oh! Would you look at that? Forgive me, but I'll forgive me if I can do this. If I do this intentionally. So fallen A's. We'll flip 1. Okay, so it's okay. I think it seems I get the gist of it now. There you go.